Okay, so we're going to open up an existing project, and we're going to go to activity 821, keyed and masked, and then the After Effects project, keyed and masked. So this you'll remember from activity 811, where we created this drummer. So we're going to build this composition up now. We're going to create some text. So just right click, new text, and we're just going to type in caps, drummer. And then I'm going to select that, and I want to choose a nice bold font. I'm pretty sure most of you will have Arial, so we'll just choose Arial bold. We'll set the size up really big. I'm looking at, let's say, 600. We'll change the tracking so the letters are quite close together. Okay, and go back to my selection tool, and I'll just position the text like that so that the D is up against the left hand side of the screen. And then I'm going to press P for position. At 0 seconds, put the stopwatch on. And then I'm going to go to the end of my workspace area. So that is 2 seconds and 22 frames. And I'm going to move this. In fact, I'll use the X value here. I'm going to move it over so that the R is just out of the right hand side. So we have this sort of effect. Okay, so it says drummer. We're going to take that and we're going to pop that underneath the character. So if I hide my transparency grid, we now have something that looks like that. Okay, so the next thing, I'm going to import some footage. So import, and we have under Learning Unit 821 files, we have explosions, fire 1 and fire 2. So we're going to bring all of those in. We'll start with the explosions one. So here it is here. I'm going to double click on it, and you'll see it's just a whole lot of explosions recorded against different screens. Let me just go back to the, there we go. Okay, so best green screen. So I don't want the green screen one. I actually want this one here against the black. So I'm just going to go back to the very beginning of that. So I'm looking at 9 seconds and 2 frames, and I'm going to click on this button here that says set in point. So I'm only taking it from that point, and then I want to go to where it dissipates. So there. So that's about let me just set the out point here. 3 seconds and 6 frames. So it goes from 9 seconds and 2 frames to 9 seconds and 2 frames to 12 seconds and 5 frames, about that. Okay, then we go back to our composition. We're going to now drag this down here underneath the drum key clone, but above the drummer. Sorry, below the drummer. Okay, and then we're going to scale it up quite big. So we're looking at about 330%. Okay, so we've got, if I just play this back, it's just taking a moment to process this by the looks of it. Okay, let's try this now. Okay, so you can see that the explosion kind of takes up the whole screen. So now what we want to do is we want to clip that explosion into the words drummer. So we're going to go to the explosions layer, and we're going to make sure, using toggles and switches here, that we can see the TRK mat, track mat column. And we're going to go to that layer, and we're going to choose alpha mat drummer. So So if we play this back now, we get that explosion clipped into the shape. So using a track mat for the layer drummer, we are matting and clipping that layer below. Okay, so that's how you use track mats. Now we want to use some blending mode. So we're going to take Fire 1, and I just want to double click on it and see what we've got here. So we've got a fire coming up, so I think we can take the whole thing. So let's take Fire 1 and put it right at the top. Okay, now we need to scale it up. So S, we're scaling it up to about 220. And also it's too long, so we need to just stretch it out a little bit. So this is something you haven't done before. I'm going to go down here to this button that says expand or collapse duration stretch. So click, it looks like little brackets, click on it, and you'll see that you have this stretch value. So we're just going to drag on that 100%, and until we see that layer fitting into our work area. I mean, the value that I've got here is 36%. So it's basically speeding that up. I'll just hide that stretch feature now. So if I play this back now, I've got that footage. I don't need the sound. I'm going to turn the sound off for anything that's got sound here. Okay, so now I need to use a blending mode so that I'm seeing the flames but not the black. So the drummer is in the scene. So I'm going to select that layer, and here's my mode layer. I'm going to change it to screen. So now I play that back. I've got the flames in front of the drummer and the explosion and the text at the back. And if I want to continue adding to this, I'm going to take Fire 2. And again, let's go to the stretch feature. Let's make it stretch that into there. I'm looking at about 3% there, and you'll see that this needs to be scaled up as well. So we'll scale this footage up to about 173%, and also change the blending mode again to screen. So screen keeps the lightest pixels and gets rid of the dark black pixels. So if I play this back now, I've now got a really interesting composition. Let's just let it process, because it's got quite a lot to process now. Okay, so we've got the green screen drummer, we've got these flames and explosions and all sorts of things going on. Okay, so you get the idea that you can use blending modes to blend in footage, and you can use track mats to clip footage into the shape of the layer above. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and see you next time.